Hello, my loves. It's Rachel here from Guilty Crow Tarot. Back again this week for another reading to see how we're going to manage our anxiety. I have to apologize. I recorded a video last week and it didn't save. So I missed last week and I felt terrible. But then I thought, well, it might just be the universe not wanting to give you guys a reading. So things have been a little crazy in life. I'm sure your life has been a little crazy too. So who knows? Anyway, we are going to be reading with the Good Fortune Tarot this week. And one of my favorite decks ever, Oracle decks, is Wisdom of the Oracle. And this is so stinking cute. I don't know if you see how small it is. It's the pocket deck that clip Aaron Reed just came out with, and I'm in love with it because it's so much easier to bring with you, and it's so much easier to shuffle. Sometimes the big decks, when the cards are so thick, are just terrible. But anyway, we're also going to pull one card for an overview from the Love Who You Are to give us a little self-care reading and see what we need to do for a little self-care this week. So let's start out with what can we focus on this week to manage our anxiety? We're going to focus on to get the best week we possibly can. And we get the Queen of Wands. So with the Queen of Wands, what we want to do this week is really nurture that creative side. Find something that really makes you feel creative, something that really floats your boat, right? Focus on all those projects that you really are excited to do. Maybe find a new hobby. Really nurture that creative spirit in you. And I have to be honest, I'm sensing a feeling of taking things that you already have and recreating them, redoing them, upscaling them, right? Go through the house and see what needs to be refreshed and work on that. Nurture your home a little bit, but not just nurturing the home where it really embodies who you are. I laugh because I have things in my home from pretty much all seasons, but I don't care because I love them. And if you came over to my house right now, you would think, oh my God, this girl's keeping up decorations that should have probably been put away. But I don't care because it all works and I love it. It makes me feel good. And instead of living in like Raymore and Flanagan to make everybody else on the outside who may stop over at your house happy, why don't you just make yourself happy and refresh that house a little bit so it really reflects your authenticity. And so I feel like we get this card every week. We get the Devil in reverse. And that's all about releasing yourself from negative thinking, really being on top of that. And it's so funny that we really, like, I think literally do get the Devil card either upright or reverse every time. And it's all about, you know, that negative self-talk, telling yourself you're not good enough or telling yourself that you can't leave that decoration out because somebody might not like it. Do it anyway. So ignore that side of yourself that is always telling you that you're not good enough or that you shouldn't do something, even though it's really in your heart to do it. Keeping on top really of that negative self-talk on a daily basis is going to help you so much, not only with your self-confidence and your anxiety, but it's going to propel you forward in whatever that you really want to do in life, right? Because those thoughts really hold us back. And so when we kind of squelch those a little bit, it leaves more space to allow us to figure out who do we want to be and what do we want to do. And that's really important too with that Queen of Wands, that authentic self, you know doing a project or doing something that you love, even though, society might not love it, it doesn't matter. Do it anyway. Enjoy yourself. And 10 of Cups. This is a big focus on family, spending time with people that you love, spending time with some good friends, really filling up your cup of emotions. Cups are all about emotions. So let those people really fill you up this week. And I'm going to tell you though, don't surround yourself with people who are bitching and moaning and complaining. You're going to want to surround yourself with people who are happy and having a good time. We talked in one video about how I Marie Kondo my life. And if you don't bring me joy, Not that it's your responsibility to make me happy, but I don't want to hang out with somebody who's forever complaining, forever moaning and groaning, forever in that victimhood scenario. It gets old and you never move forward. So surround yourself with people who are wanting to elevate, who are wanting to be a little bit more enlightened, and even if you don't completely or completely agree with this person about everything, open your mind to new things, allow new ideas and new activities to come in. And we're going to just pull one from the Wisdom of the Oracle and see what this one says this week too. What to focus on. Time for a nap. I could use a nap today. Take a break a little bit. This is really telling me to not focus so much on things that you have to get done, and focus on things that you really enjoy getting done or enjoy working on, right? Leave the have tos and the burdens and everything behind, which really makes sense because one of my burdens last week was that I felt terrible that I didn't do a video, because I promised myself that if I started this channel, I was going to be consistent, and the universe laughed in my face. So take a nap this week, take a break, enjoy yourself, and have fun. It's going to be a total focus on fun, and we're just going to ignore the negativity. Okay. And, the best thing that I like to do, that if you're with somebody and they are bitching and they are negative, if you can't remove yourself from them, just don't respond. I just don't respond. And so the more that they complain, the less I say. And you can see the energy shift because if it's the same with an argument. If somebody wants to fight with you and you're not fighting back, they're not going to eventually have a response, and then you can just kind of shift the conversation to a happier place. And I think that that's a great idea. God knows I do it all the time. So we're going to look at what you should let go of this week to reduce your stress levels and keep that anxiety at bay. Okay. And we get strength in reverse. So strength in reverse talks about a time when you start to doubt yourself, right? Your confidence is low. You're not believing in your abilities. So this is what we're going to let go of. I love that it's paired again with the devil, of what you should focus on, right? Is of course letting go of that negative self-talk, but it's so good of letting go of that lack of confidence, that lack of self-esteem. Look at yourself in the mirror and say how good you're doing. One of the hardest things that I swear I tell people to do, and they're like, no way, I'm not doing it, is you got to be alone when you do it too. Until you get ready to do it, and you can do it every day, which I got there, but it took me some time, is to just look in the mirror and say, I love you, to yourself. I love you. You're awesome. Of course, when I look at myself in the mirror now, I'm like, bitch, you look good. Everything's going good. This is also a time to remember that, things usually do work out. And I know that we have some terrible things that happen, but I want you to think back of all the wonderful things that you've gotten through and that you've made it through, right? So we're going to let go of that lack of confidence. We're going to let go of not thinking that you can do it. It's funny because if you're going to kind of harness that Queen of Wands, where you're looking for a really fun outlet, and who knows, maybe you start a side hustle or something like that, with your crochet or your woodworking or something like that. This is a time to let go of the fear that your stuff's not good enough, that your products aren't good enough, and really just look in that mirror and say, you got this. What was that movie? Oh my God. Stuart Smalley. My husband calls me Stuart Smalley all the time because he used to say, I'm good enough and darn it, people like me, or something like that. Best show ever. Anyway, so let go of that low self-esteem. And we also get the Chariot. So the Chariot's a lot about making decisions and having courage, right? So I love how they go together so well, because the Strength in reverse is about worrying about not being courageous enough, and the Chariot's really solidifying that, because it is about making decisions and having courage. So let go of the pressure too of feeling that you have to be the best, and just do what feels good to you. You know, what keeps mind, body, spirit together. The way you do things might not be the same way somebody else does things. So do it your way. Authenticity is always key. And like, boy, let me tell you, people are always looking for that, even in friendships and relationships. You know, you don't want to find out somebody's a different way, you know, 10 years later. So let go of the worry that you're not doing it the way everybody else wants you to do it. We also get the magician in reverse. I think it's really interesting too, the things that we're letting go of. This is all major arcana stuff. So this is like, you know, the big stuff, the life changing things, not your everyday events. So the magician in reverse is telling me to let you know that again, we're going to let go of a lot of that mental chatter, clean out that clutter. A magician is all about making things happen and knowing that your thoughts, the way you think, the way you speak, is really the magic spell of how you're creating your own existence. Okay. So with the magician in reverse, that feeling of I can't make things happen, I can't get things done. You know, I don't have the resources, I don't have the ability. This is truly the victim mentality. The cards are pretty heavy this week, I have to be honest with you, and it's really hitting home. So I don't know if there's a lot of you struggling with thoughts and things like that, struggling to like maybe take that next step, but it's really hitting home that, you know, take a break from you know, thinking that you're not doing it right. Okay, let's pull a card from the wisdom of the oracle and see what she's got to say here. And we get a leg up in protection, and a leg up in protection talks all about getting assistance from other people, is all about letting go of the need to do everything by yourself, telling people that you don't need help. You know, it's okay to accept help. So we are going to let go of that, you know, desire to be alone, the desire just to take care of everything, knowing that you just have to take care of everything. You know, it's not true. You can help, ask for help. And no, people might not do it the way you do it, but at least it's getting done, right? Let go of that burden of that you're carrying around, that you feel like you just, you know, you're completely alone in this world, because it's not true. And if you ask the universe or God or whoever you believe in, you know, spirit, send me somebody that can help me, and then sit back and wait and just know that it will happen, um, that person's going to come forward. That burden will be lifted. You know, somebody's going to help you. Those are the things we're letting go of this week to reduce your stress levels. Our next question is going to be, what are some things that are going to cause your anxiety this week? And we get the world in reverse, which means things are not finishing up quite the way you want them to. This might be where you have to do the leg up in protection, where you're going to have to ask for some help, right? Things aren't being accomplished quite the way that you want them to be. So going forward, you know that there might be a delay in plans or a delay in projects, and you're just going to kind of have to deal with it. It's going to cause you some anxiety, but that goes back to the perfection thing, right? Like, do we have to be perfect? No, everybody has delays. Everybody has projects that don't get finished. You know, the world isn't going to end if you don't get everything done in time. So ease up on that. And we get the Page of Wands in reverse. So if you have children or grandchildren, they may be acting up and being a little naughty, and that may cause you some anxiety. But, you know, information that we're looking for, a message that we were waiting to come in, or a test result or something like that, something that you're really hoping to hear about, that might be delayed. So keep that in mind. I'm feeling too, you know, I'm seeing the bees around, and I'm feeling bee sting, right? Not that you're gonna get stung by a bee. Well, you might, but I'm being told to let this really play out in its own time, not to rush things, right? But it's still going to cause anxiety. The fact that you're not hearing the things that you want to hear and the people aren't getting back to you quickly enough. We also get the Nine of Wands in reverse. So being defensive, that you're almost at the end of a project, or that you're at the end of something, or vacation's coming and you're not packed, or something like that. That's going to start giving you a little bit of anxiety. Feeling defensive, and there might be a moment this week where you have to let your defenses down, and that's going to give you anxiety. Feeling vulnerable is scary sometimes, and I get it. I have learned how to do it, though it took me many years to be able to say, like, I'm not perfect and I can't always get everything done. But once you allow yourself to not be perfect, it gets a lot easier. It also makes you not procrastinate because, it's going to get done on its own time. I'm going to do the best I can today. I'm just going to do the best I can. And that's really all you can say. So just remember letting down your defenses. I'm also hearing that if you get in an argument with somebody this week, it's okay to be the first one to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, or I'm sorry, let's fix this. Even if you weren't wrong, because let's face it, we're all perfect, right? We're never wrong, God forbid. So just let those defenses down. Everything's going to be okay. It can give you anxiety, but now that you know it's coming, that it should give you a little bit of a sense of ease. And we also get to be fair in protection. And so I feel like this to be fair in protection is very closely related to this Nine of Wands in reverse, because this is talking about seeing something that is unjust, seeing something that you don't think is fair, and perhaps you are being called to task for something and you know that you didn't do it, right? You did the best you could. That's going to give you a little anxiety. But remember that, even though if it happens, it doesn't have to discolor your entire day, right? So you might also be called to defend somebody. And if you're a more quiet person, that could be difficult for you, right? Sticking up for somebody against a crowd of people, or a group of people that, could be a little nasty. But, you know, we have to learn how to stand up, and again, we're going to go back to that authenticity, right? You believe in what you believe, and if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. And you know what? Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. Who cares, right? Because you don't like everybody. And I know I've said that before, but really, not everybody's going to like me. I don't care. That's perfectly fine. It's less Christmas presents you have to buy. Anyway, these are the things that would be bringing you anxiety. Know, though, especially with that to be fair and protection, that if you are looking for justice for something, it is going to work out okay. And, if things are delayed a little bit, it's going to be okay. Let the kids, if you're dealing with kids this week, maybe don't be too strict. It's going to cause you anxiety. Just, let them have the popsicle for breakfast. Who cares? At least they're eating something, right? So let's pull one more card. We're going to just pull that card for self-care this week and see what it has to say. So, we get protect your boundaries. And I like that. I think that's a great card to go with the reading that we just did with, what's going to bring you anxiety when you are standing up for other people, when you are standing up for yourself. Protect your boundaries. We teach people how to treat us. And, if somebody's being disrespectful to you or disrespectful to somebody, and it's, you don't think it's right or just, we're going to put some boundaries up. And you can do that in a very kind way. You don't have to be, a mean asshole about it, but you can, put those things up. Don't talk to me like that. Don't treat me like that. This is how I'm going to be treated. And you have to remember, though, that if you put those boundaries up, you also have to use those boundaries with other people, right? So you're not going to talk to people like that. And you're not going to treat people like that. So keep that in mind. And that is such a pretty card. And I'm a boundary girl. I love boundaries. Very honest. you get what you see. It is just what it is. Right. So, but I have to be honest, I don't get offended by anything and nothing really ever bothers me that way. So, okay, you guys are all set. I hope that if this is your first time watching me, that I have earned your subscription. So, like and subscribe down below if you would. I would appreciate it. And please leave me a message. Let me know if this worked for you. Let me know how, not last week, because, I didn't do a video last week that I could put out because thank you, Zoom, for screwing me over. Let me know how the readings are going for you and if this is helping you. If I can change anything, if I could do anything or answer any questions, let me know. And thank you so much. I hope you guys have a nice, restful, relaxing, fun week. And just remember, not every day is a bad day. Okay. Have a good one.